Stay there.
Brandon, come up here for a sec, man.
What the
Allie, who has spent her entire life in the Appalachian Mountains, shares that she has encountered numerous strange and difficult-to-explain situations over the years. One evening, while driving with a friend, their car unexpectedly stopped working along a remote section of road. What happened next felt unsettling and not easy to understand.
Well, we are in the middle of nowhere. My door is locked. Oh my god. I can't even get out. Can I unlock it? There we go. Okay, hold on. You figure it out. I want to know why mine. Press the button back. Right there. Right there. On the door handle, like above the door handle. Above the door handle. You see it? Yeah. What now? I guess we'll have to walk to the store.
Hey.
What do we do? What was that? Did you hear that? Yeah, we better get back in the car. Yeah, we better. Oh, that was locked. This is scary. Oh my god. Okay. No. You'll have to unlock it for me. Something weird has happened with this car. What's going on? I don't know. Let's see if it starts. It started.
Waiting for connection. Bluetooth connection success.
What was that? Ashley, I do not like this. Oh my god. Let's get out of here. Go. Does it run? Is it working? Yes. It is. It's working. Thank God.
Left stranded in an isolated area, they struggled with both the door locks and the ignition. The vehicle began acting oddly, with the doors sometimes refusing to open and then locking by themselves. The tension increased as unfamiliar sounds emerged from the darkness around them. Shortly after stepping out of the car, they heard what seemed like a distant voice calling toward them. Not long after, a distinct knock sounded against the car window. Eventually, the engine turned over again, and they were able to leave, but the experience left them shaken. The strange behavior of the vehicle, combined with the unsettling noises outside, created a moment that was hard to explain logically. Viewers online have debated whether the footage is genuine. Some have noted that Allie appears to be smiling during much of the situation, leading them to question if it was staged. Others believe her reaction could come from being familiar with the uneasy environment of the region, while some interpret it as a nervous or protective response to fear. In the end, what truly occurred that night remains open to interpretation. December 6, 2021. Braden, who lives on the Appalachian side, documented something deeply unsettling inside his own home. He had grown accustomed to unexplained nighttime noises, light tapping, shifting creaks, footsteps, small details that always left him uneasy. That night, he chose to record those sounds, hoping to finally capture solid proof of whatever had been disturbing his house. What the camera revealed, however, went far beyond ordinary noises.
I was in my room, and you guys know how I'm trying to catch that
paranormal activity that's going on in my house on camera right through here. So far I've caught a couple things, nothing too good, but last night I actually ended up catching something really good. I don't know how to explain this or why this happened or how, but basically it started off like
Braden set up his camera and began filming as the familiar sounds returned: faint steps overhead, the slow groan of the stairs, knocks, and scratching noises echoing through the house. He moved into the living room to get closer, attempting to catch something visible instead of only hearing it. The recording captured more than he expected.
Like any other normal experience in my house. Like, I mean, I was just hearing stuff upstairs, and like I heard like the walking down the stairs and the creaking and the tapping and the scratching, everything like that, right? And I got that on camera, so I started filming, and then I go out into like my living room to investigate and try to like get closer to it, see if I could get any like thing physically on camera instead of just the noise. And I didn't really do that, but I did get more noise, and that noise happened to be my own voice calling me up the I mean, I don't know what the hell that is or how that's even possible, but it was probably one of the most crazy, scariest things I've seen in my life. Like, guys, literally I'm just filming the noises, trying to like figure out what's going on, and then all of a sudden I hear, Braden, it's okay, come upstairs, come here for a minute. And I'm like, what? At first I didn't even
Picked up a voice calling from upstairs that sounded exactly like his own. At first, he thought it might be a prank or someone else inside the house, but the voice came again clearer this time, seeming to come directly from the room above. The atmosphere quickly shifted.
Okay, hold on. Jesus. Hold up. Why is the tree on there? Whatever that is coming from up here. Attempt to go in there? Because that was coming, all that thumping, it was coming from like right in there, in that room. Up for a sec, man. What the f? What the f was that? You guys, did I just hear that right? Get up here now. Okay. I'm not fucking with. That I'm not fucking with.
The tone of the sound became urgent, then aggressive when Braden didn't react. As the voice continued calling him upstairs,
that I'm not fucking with, bro. That I'm not fucking with, bro. That I don't play around with. That I don't play around with. I don't know. Oh no. Whatever that fucking was just came down the stairs. Yo, I don't like this, bro. This door's just about to open. Guys, am I like crazy? Or was there not a voice upstairs in my voice?
loud, rapid footsteps suddenly pounded down the stairs as if something was rushing toward him. He stepped back, heart racing, then ran to his bedroom and locked the door. Still shaken, he reviewed the footage.
Bro, I don't fuck with this. Was there not just like a voice upstairs with my voice telling me to come up? What the hell is in my house, bro? That's some like sinister shit that you see in the movies. I literally heard my voice. Hold on, let me watch the video. Guys, that was definitely my voice. I mean, I just watched the video back and like, it literally said like, come up here in my voice. How are my parents not fucking waking up? Bro, I don't know why this shit is going on. Like, I don't know what to say. Sorry if I'm like, kind of.
The recording clearly captured the voice, an imitation of Braden calling from upstairs, followed by the heavy sound of footsteps descending as though they were coming straight at him. He remained in his room, confused and frightened, unable to sleep, and hoping nothing would force its way through the door.
Kind of dull right now. It's just, I kind of like just heard myself upstairs when I was downstairs, so it's kind of a lot to take in right now. I have no idea what to make of this. Guys, if you could think of anything, please comment down below. I am so happy I got that shit on film, bro. There's no way I got that on camera. That is insane. I finally have some like kind of proof about all the crap that goes on in my house. I never had this before, but it's mainly just what you guys heard in the beginning of the video, like the dumps and shit, but tonight it was real violent. It's never usually that bad. But, I mean, that's that. I don't really know what to say. I mean, I heard the thing run down the stairs, and now I'm just back in my room kind of taking shelter, hoping my door doesn't get kicked in by the devil or some shit. I don't even know, bro, but hopefully that doesn't happen.
By morning, he was still unsettled, but relieved the door had not been opened. He later uploaded the clip, asking viewers for explanations, and expressing relief that he had finally captured something on camera. Some viewers suggest it could be an auditory illusion, random creaks and noises blending together in a way that resembles speech. Others believe it may have been a setup, possibly someone playing back a recording of his voice from upstairs. Another explanation focuses on the acoustics of the house. Older structures can distort and carry sound in unusual ways, making voices seem like they are coming from places they are not. But for many, none of these ideas fully explain what was recorded. The possibility that something unknown could replicate his exact voice and use it to draw him toward the stairs is what makes the footage so unsettling. What would you do if your own voice called out to you from upstairs in the middle of the night? Would you investigate, leave immediately, or stay locked inside and wait? Sophie, an outdoor lover from Denmark, set out to challenge herself with a solo overnight stay in one of the country's many public wooden shelters. These simple structures spread across Denmark offer a free and easy way to experience nature without bringing a tent.
Hi, my name is Sophie. Today I'm gonna try to spend the night in a permanent wood shelter right next to the airport. I'm gonna make a campfire, cook a delicious dinner, and have a cozy evening. I hope you will join my adventure. Today my plan is to stay here in this wood shelter. We have quite a lot of these permanent wood shelters all around Denmark, and they have become very popular to camp in because you don't need to bring a tent, you just need to bring a sleeping pad and a sleeping bag, and then you have this lovely campsite where you can spend the night. Now I'm just gonna go out and look for some firewood. I have this pocket saw, it's called, like a chain from a chainsaw here with 2 fabric handles. First when I got it, I thought this is the best thing ever. I loved it. But I think it's not that good anymore. Maybe it's just because that the blades are not as sharp as when I just got it. But I feel it keeps on getting stuck when I try to saw.
Her plan was clear: start a fire, cook dinner, and spend a quiet night alone outdoors. Even though she had booked a different shelter, she found it already taken and kept cycling until she reached another one officially reserved by someone else. Since it was unoccupied,
it's actually possible to book these type of shelters, or at least most of them, online, so that you know that you will have this spot available to spend the night. I booked a shelter for tonight, a different one located like 1 kilometer from here. But when I got there, there was a family there cooking dinner over the fire. So I just kept on biking because I knew that there was another one over here. And I could see that this one was actually booked. But yeah, as you can see, no one is here. So now I'm just hoping that I will have it to myself. But of course, if someone comes here and they have booked it for the night, I will pack up and leave. It actually says on the website that you have until 8 in the evening to show up, and otherwise it's just free to take for everyone. And now the time is 7:30, so 30 minutes left of insecurity and then hopefully I can stay here in peace. This campsite is actually very close to the airport, the main airport in Denmark, so there might be some noise in the background of this video. There is a plane coming above me like every 5 minutes, so it's not as idyllic as you could hope, but it's a different experience, and as long as I'm out here in nature, I think it's nice, even with the plane noise.
She decided to remain there unless the people who booked it arrived. According to the website, if no one showed up by 8 p.m., the shelter became available to anyone. At 7:30 p.m., she waited with some tension, and by 8 it was hers for the night. However, the location brought an unexpected issue. It was near Denmark's main airport. Every few minutes, planes thundered overhead, breaking the quiet she had been hoping for. Even so, Sophie stuck to her plan: build a fire, prepare a warm meal, and spend her first night outdoors without a tent, relying only on the shelter and her sleeping bag. Her dinner was simple, but comforting, a Danish-style campfire meal. She had made dough at home, wrapped it around a stick, and roasted it over the fire to create hot dogs topped with ketchup and remoulade. As darkness settled and she finished eating, the forest began to feel different. Sudden sounds, snapping branches, rustling leaves seemed louder and more unsettling in the night. Then something unusual caught her attention. From beyond the trees, faint flashes of light appeared. They didn't seem to come from a nearby path or distant building. They looked intentional, as if someone was slowly moving through the woods with a flashlight or lantern. The lights flickered and disappeared, only to show up again moments later, always from the same direction. Sophie tried to explain both the sounds and lights as animals, possibly deer, she had seen earlier, but the pattern and movement didn't feel natural.
Hot dog number 2. This ended up being quite a late dinner, but it was very good. 2 hot dogs. Now I'm full. Oh, I actually could have eaten one more, but 2 was enough. Now it's already dark, so I had to bring out my flashlight. And now the forest is starting to make a lot of sounds. I don't know what it is. As soon as it gets dark, all sounds just becomes a little bit scary. I have no idea if you can hear this on the camera, but there are these big, like, branches snapping or breaking in that direction. And now there's an airplane, so you probably can't hear it. But I'm just, I get a tiny bit scared whenever I hear that sound.
Later, while cleaning up and getting ready to sleep, the flashes appeared again. Still no voices, only distant movement and shifting light. Despite the uneasy feeling that she might be watched, Sophie decided to stay. She arranged her sleeping bag with her head facing the open entrance so she could see the forest clearly, and hung small lights to make the shelter feel safer. The rest of the night passed without any direct encounter, though the tension remained. Between the dim flickers of her own flashlight, the strange forest noises, and the earlier flashes of light, it was far from the calm night she had imagined. Still, she achieved her goal, spending a night alone in the woods. By morning, Sophie felt both proud and reflective, still thinking about the mysterious lights and the lingering sense of being observed. The source of the lights remains unknown. They may have been hikers passing through, someone checking the shelter, or simply a visual illusion intensified by fear and darkness. But their timing and repeated appearance suggest they may not have been random. What would you have done in her situation? Ignored it and stayed or left the forest behind? A man named Chris was riding his bike through the mountainous area near Fernie, British Columbia, when he suddenly spotted movement in the tall grass, something that appeared to be an animal coming closer. In that instant, he realized it was a mountain lion and quickly started recording.
I don't know if you can see it, but there's a mountain lion. He's crouching in the grass. He's actually coming towards me.
At first, the predator was hard to see, but as Chris edged closer to the trail, it became clearer, stepping out of the grass and moving straight toward him.
That is a mountain lion, and he's stalking me.
Encounters with cougars are uncommon, but it's widely understood that in certain situations, they can attack people. And if one is tracking you through tall grass, gradually closing the gap while keeping its eyes fixed on you, there's no question you're in real danger. Roughly 2 minutes into the footage, the mountain lion began to pick up speed, and Chris made the one mistake you should avoid in that situation. He turned away and started running.
Hey, Mr. Mountain Lion. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I am much bigger than you.
For the next several minutes, he tried to drive the animal off, but it kept circling him, staying just at the edge of the forest and watching closely. Not long after, as he attempted to return to the main path leading back to his car, the cougar blocked his route once again.
Stay back. Stay there. I'm not afraid of you.
After several tense moments, the animal eventually turned and slipped back into the trees. Being in that position must have been terrifying, especially knowing the only reason the mountain lion didn't attack was simply because it chose not to. If it had felt more threatened, it could have easily caused serious harm. Thankfully, the encounter ended without injury, and Chris was able to walk away unharmed. On April 29, 2024, a video posted on the YouTube channel Becca Y captured an unexpectedly tense night during a truck camping trip in Texas. The channel usually focuses on solo travel life on the road and quiet outdoor camping with her dog Sky. But that night turned out very differently. While traveling near the Oklahoma-Texas border and heading toward Dallas, Becca started receiving repeated tornado alerts on her phone. Before continuing, she stopped to swap out her Crocs for a new pair, just in case she needed to move quickly during the storm. She then resumed driving toward Dallas. What would normally be a 30-minute drive suddenly felt much longer than expected.
I didn't bring my cameras with when I arrived to Dallas after, it was almost an hour and a half drive that was only supposed to be 30 minutes. I lost count of the amount of accidents that I saw because of the flooding on the highways. People were hitting the puddles and then crashing. It wasn't like two cars hitting each other like a normal accident. People were just crashing from big gust of wind, and they were just hitting the guardrail. We are in a 3 out of 5 area zone, which means we have a pretty good chance of getting a tornado tonight into tomorrow morning.
Heavy rain covered the highway, making it difficult for vehicles to travel safely. Some drivers struggled to maintain control, and accidents began appearing along the road. As the weather worsened, she decided to stop for the night at a Walmart parking lot in Dallas. The wind was already strong, so she chose to stay inside the truck instead of setting up her roof tent, even though the interior space was tight. Inside the vehicle, she tried to keep things as normal as possible. She cooked a simple meal of steak and asparagus, but the storm outside made it hard to relax.
Can you guys hear that over the fans? Holy crap. I'm just too nervous to even finish eating dinner. Like, I don't even have an appetite as much as I thought I would. It's 11 o'clock at night. The storm's supposed to get really bad in less than an hour. I'm nervous, so I figured it's almost safer in my front seat. I'm gonna sit in here for a while, just think of a game plan.
Rain pounded against the truck, and each gust of wind reminded her how unstable the conditions had become. Later that night, she decided to move again. Around 2:30 in the morning,
we got some lightning. The rain is slowly starting. So we left Walmart, now we're at Home Depot. And honestly, this is better, view-wise. Oh my goodness, the lightning. It's only 2:30 a.m. right now. We're in the tornado effect area. I just checked on my phone. It's not even raining. I also don't even hear thunder. Isn't that how that works? You can't have lightning without thunder. Oh my god, I'm so tired.
feeling exhausted and mentally drained, she drove to a nearby Home Depot parking lot, where she hoped to get a better view of the sky and surroundings. Not long after arriving, something unexpected happened.
I feel like you guys are screaming at me right now to go to Ryan's house. And I'm actually kind of considering, it would have been different if I went earlier. 11 o'clock probably would have been the latest I would have felt comfortable showing up. But he's probably asleep. We gotta go. This is stupid. Shout out Home Depot. Oh my god! Oh my god. I can't believe I got that on video. The lightning was in front of me, now it's over there.
A sudden lightning strike hit. The flash lit up the road ahead and startled her instantly. Moments later, she noticed something unusual in the sky.
Dude, someone's on a bike right now. Are you good? Why is the sky colored like that? Is that normal?
The clouds had a strange color that made the storm appear even more unsettling. Shortly after that, she passed a cyclist riding through the storm in the early morning darkness. The sight caught her off guard. It was difficult to imagine someone biking in weather like that. Eventually, Becca decided the safest option was to drive to a friend's house in Dallas to wait out the storm. During the night, one thunderstrike was so powerful that it shook the ground. The impact was strong enough to set off nearby car alarms. Even Sky, who was usually calm during their trips, became clearly frightened by the noise. By early morning, the storm finally began to move on. Many viewers later pointed out how quickly storms in this region can turn dangerous, especially during tornado season. Even experienced travelers can be caught off guard. If you were alone on the road during warnings like this, would you stay parked or keep driving to find shelter? On March 18, 2023, the YouTube channel English Woodsman uploaded a video titled Unwanted Visitor when tent camping in the wild. In this episode, the creator heads into a private woodland in the UK to test a low-cost dream tent he recently picked up from a clearance bundle. The plan is simple: set up camp, cook dinner, and spend a quiet night alone in the forest. But once night falls, the peaceful woodland begins to feel very different. As he unpacks his gear, he quickly spots an issue.
So, it's got a clear rip, and there's the clips what's supposed to keep the tent in place. But the tent isn't too bad. From what I've seen putting it up once anyway, I think this sort of video is the way you should do it. Garden, or if you've got a bit of private woodland to go to, go there, test your equipment. Then if there's something wrong, you're not stuck away from home. So this is the inner of the tent. I'm gonna have to do something about the zip, because the zip is so dry.
The tent bag is torn and some of the clips look damaged. This raises concerns about how reliable the equipment will be. He then starts setting up the tent. While putting the structure together, he notices something else.
Inside the tent, and there's something that I've realised what I didn't when I first set the tent up. I've got 1, 2, 3 holes here in the top of the tent, and if it does rain, well, that's the point where it's going to come down. You might be able to see the sky through it a little bit. Yeah, you can see 2 of them here. There, oh, you can see all 3 now there, look. So I am quite happy because I've got a solution how to sort the tent out with them 3 holes in it. Like I said, I've got 2 new pieces of item that I'm going to try tonight. So within the sleeping mat, you get like some patches in case that gets an hole in it. So I'm going to use them, hopefully, to repair the tent.
There are 3 small holes in the roof of the tent. If it rains later, water could leak through. To deal with the problem, he uses repair patches that came with a new sleeping pad. He carefully applies the patches over the holes in the fabric. It may not be a perfect solution, but he hopes it will hold through the night. Later, he prepares dinner near the entrance of the tent. He cooks salmon first, then makes a simple chicken stir-fry.
Right, so next round of food is a chicken stir-fry. That salmon would nowhere been good enough for me. Now let's give it a bit of colour now, innit? Now, I wonder what's going on because there's just been a massive set of helicopters go overhead. Just started to get proper dark now anyway. But yeah, I don't know what's going on there, some sort of army training or something.
As evening turns into night, an unexpected sound breaks the silence of the forest. A military helicopter flies overhead. The noise echoes through the trees before fading into the distance. Not long after rain begins to fall. Inside the tent, he checks the patches on the roof and hopes they will keep the interior dry.
Right, so we're in the tents now. The rain started, and I've got a small problem with them 3 little holes. I have these, and these are from the air mat. I have 2 of them, and I'm going to have to stick them over the holes. So maybe I just have to use 1. It's not ideal, but it's better than it leaking in. We're getting there. That's patch number 1 done. Just need to get the next one. I don't know if it's going to be a long-term fix, but at least for tonight, it'll be alright, I think. I'm just going to have a quick look over, see if there's any more that I do need to cover up before I decide to get into my sleeping bag.
Later in the night, he suddenly wakes to the sound of footsteps outside the tent. Something is clearly moving around the campsite.
Just been walking by something that seemed to be walking around my tent a bit, and it's walked Dan up as well because Dan's just messaged me. You know the guy lines that you pull out, something I felt, no, not that, I don't know, it's just it woke me up so quick. It's raining as well. Now if I were by myself, I'd be a little bit more nervous, let's say. I get there's wildlife and things like that.
The slow steps circle the area more than once, making it hard to tell how close it actually is. When he shines his light outside, the rain and darkness hide whatever might be there. At one point, it even feels as if something or someone is standing right beside the thin wall of the tent. After a while, the sounds finally stop and the forest becomes quiet again. When morning comes, he checks the campsite and the tent. Because the gear is damaged and the tent is wet, he decides to pack up earlier than planned. In forests at night, rain and darkness can make small animals sound much larger than they are. Still, when footsteps circle a tent in the dark, it can feel unsettling. So, what do you think visited the campsite that night? An animal exploring the area or something else moving quietly through the woods